Come on in, come on in, come on in. All geeks are welcome in this space. Let's learn together and seek his face. I'm Vicyoy, a.k.a. Bad Gamer Elite, your host for this Soundmaiden podcast sponsored by lifepromotions.org. God, Games, and Geekery gives us an opportunity every month to chat about the crossroads of our passions and our faith. I can't wait to learn and discuss with you. Guys, welcome to the 51st episode of God, Games, and Geekery. I'm so glad you're here. Guys, we are sponsored by Life Promotions. Specifically, this season, we are sponsored by Quake. If you go to quakeevent.com, Quake Event, not events with an S. That's a $3,000 to $6,000 S, by the way. But quakeevent.com, I cannot wait. Oh my goodness, guys. Quake is a youth, it's like a youth retreat in a box. Youth leaders, if you're listening, all you have to do is supply the food. And maybe some extracurricular activities outside of the conference. Outside of that, Quake takes care of it all. It's amazing. There's speakers, there's workshops, there's fun, there's a dance party. There's a dance party. And certain ones might just have a guest DJ that you might know. Just saying. January through March of 2022. Check it out. quakeevent.com. It's going to be dope. All right, you guys. So what's been going on this month with me? Well, I have been playing the new Guardians of the Galaxy game, and I had been playing it. Your boy finished it. Dude. This game, legitimately, like, I've played a lot of video games. This game legitimately made my eyes water. Now, I wasn't bawling, but there were lessons in this game, stories in this game that made me just say it. It's a great game. If you can, go check it out. It might be on Game Pass if you have an Xbox and Game Pass Unlimited or Ultimate. I don't know that for sure, but check that out. I have been playing Fortnite quite a bit with Bethany and Micah, our friend Shamal, my friend Zoltar, Darth Kryptonite, just a bunch of folks. And guys, I'm like level 225 or something like that. Like, this is the first time I've really hit every single piece of a Fortnite season, and the new chapter is coming this weekend. I have no idea what's going to happen. I've been trying to stay away from leaks. I have no idea. Stay away. If I need to stay away from leaks, I stay off of Twitter. I have no idea what's going on. I cannot wait for that to drop. It's going to be so much fun. I did pick a new game for my own personal stream. But in November, it was No Fortnite November. And Bethany and Micah talked me into playing some Mario Kart and Mario Party. Let me tell you, I did not expect to like that. I did not expect it, but I did. So we might see a resurgence of some Nintendo games on twitch.tv/God Games and Geekery. God Games and Geekery, spell that out. But I also went through my Steam library and realized I've got a ton of games that I just have and I've not played yet. So we'll be playing some new stuff on my personal channel. And maybe we'll be adding in some on the God Games and Geekery channel. Maybe we'll be adding some what I'm calling body doubling streams where you guys help keep me on task while I'm in the office. where we can hang out and talk while I get my work done. We'll probably be doing some more of that. But that's where I've been. My gametography has been primarily Fortnite. Guys, I can't believe that I'm into Fortnite this much. If you would have come to me a year ago, and well, maybe not a year ago. Yeah, about a year ago, and said, Lem, you're gonna be playing Fortnite. I would have laughed at you. I would have laughed at you a lot. And that's not the case anymore. That's not the case at all. I have been getting back into Overwatch. We've been playing some Overwatch, and I'm going to come back to that in a little bit. As far as reading goes, you know that I don't necessarily read a lot of books, but I do listen to quite a bit of audiobooks. And the Fowl Twins in the Artemis Fowl series, I just finished that up, listening to that. And it was very entertaining. I thought after the Artemis Fowl stuff that I love, he can't do another one, right? He can't write another one that I really like. Yo, Ian Colfer did it again. He did it again. So the Fowl Twins in the Artemis Fowl series, I've been really, really enjoying it. And I just want to say thank you to, and I can't remember, this is years ago. I want to say thanks to the librarian that told me, hey, if you like this and you're reading young person books, check out Artemis Fowl. And I can't remember who told me, but not only have I listened to all the audiobooks and read the actual books, but I've got 2 graphic novels from it. And I've got 3 Funko Pops. I really do love the Artemis Fowl series. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. I am getting back into a little bit of toy photography. I haven't really jumped right back into it, but doing some work on my personal TikTok with my Disney Infinity figures. So showing those off a little bit. But like I said, we've been playing Overwatch, and we've been playing Overwatch and Fortnite with this one young man. His name is Shamal, and I noticed something about playing with Shamal, and I noticed it, and I thought, man, we need to talk about this on the podcast, especially around this time because we just got done with Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, a little late. And we're going into Christmas. This young man, Shamal, is so very talented at Fortnite. Okay? Crazy talented at Fortnite. He's got a gift for Fortnite. And I run into a lot of folks that play Fortnite that when they're good, they've got an attitude about it. This guy is so freaking humble at it. Like, I'll say, hey, buddy, I got some, I've got some ammo over here, or hey, come over for some chug splash or whatever. Oh, thank you. What? And here's the kicker. I thought this guy played on PC. He's such a good builder. He plays on PS4. And he builds like a PC game. Anyway, he is so gracious when you help him out, and when he does it, he can take down squads by himself. This kid. Anyway, but what I really want to point out is that thank you. Giving thanks for what we're given. Giving thanks even in the tough times. And we get to talk today about that with one of my favorite podcasters. One of the 4 hosts of the Good Morning Guys, Mr. Lucas Ham Swisher. Guys, let's go talk with Lucas. Hey guys, as promised, we have the one, the only Mr. Pastor Coach Ham Swisher of Good Morning, guys.
Good morning, my brothers and sisters.
Woo! I'm so excited.
Woo!
This is so awesome. This is so very awesome.
Hey, buddy.
I have been wanting to have you on for so long. You've had me on your podcast at least twice.
That's true.
We've been friends for at least, 5, 7? I don't know.
Goodness,
5 years?
5 or 7 years? Is that true?
I think so. Because think about it.
Wow.
We met before episode 300 of Married to the Games. We met before that. Episode 500 is coming out. They come out every 2 years.
Wow.
So
man,
it's been at least 5 years.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. I tell you what, ever since 2020, my perception of time is just awful.
Right?
I'm like, yeah, that was just a couple months ago. And someone's like, no, that was 2019. I'm like, don't lie to me, liar face. Golly, it's crazy, man.
It's like the 1990s. Those were only 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah. It's just around the corner. I was talking to Mindy the other day, my wife, and we were talking about how her 8th grade middle school kids, she's a teacher, how they're like, when she mentions a mid to upper 90s movie, they're like, oh, that's old. And she's like, what? That is not an old movie. And I'm like, Mindy, if someone said, hey, come watch this 80s or 90s movie, to them, that's like someone telling us, hey, let's go watch this 60s movie or this 70s movie.
Yeah.
You know? And that makes it sound really bad.
Yes.
Really old. that creates, that makes me like all of a sudden need to phone AARP and
let me get my walker out.
Get my walker out, start cashing in my Social Security. Like that's what I feel like when I hear that stuff.
Dude. Well, let's do an official. Who is this guy? Who's Lucas? Now we have a Lucas, but you're not that Lucas.
You do. I'm the Southern Hemisphere, the Brazilian Lucas.
Tell us about yourself.
The Brazilian mountaineer Lucas, to be exact. I'm not Brazilian. I don't want to bear false witness to anyone out there. So I am a missionary in Brazil. I'm originally from West Virginia. Country roads take me home. Woo! And I love video games. I love people. I love God. Most of all, I love my family. I've been married now for 16 years. I have 2 kids, a daughter who is 11 years old, a son that's 9 years old. We have a 7-month-old German Shepherd. I would give you all their names, but you won't remember, and that just adds more to it. So suffice it to say, there are people in my life that make up my family. You don't need to know their names unless you really want to know. You can message me on social media or something.
Yeah, man.
But I'm just I do kind of a focus on mission projects and really connecting cultures between Brazil and the U.S. From Brazil. And so I've been here for the past 9 years, going on 10 years. And like I said, I'm a pastor missionary by day, podcaster and video gamer by night. So that's awesome, dude. That's brief enough.
That's fantastic. So we just in the States, and those of us out of the States that celebrate from in the States, we just got past Thanksgiving. And of course, you've all done the thing where what do we give thanks for? What are we thankful for? And we're heading into, and now we are currently at the time of recording in the Hanukkah season, moving into Christmas and a plethora of other holidays. But I would like to focus on Thanksgiving and Christmas right now.
Right.
Now we just got done through. Oh, we're all thankful for this. We're all thankful for that. And then we're like, ooh, I'm going to be thankful for presents at Christmas. But sometimes we forget about like the cruddy times.
Yeah.
Like in gaming, sometimes we forget to say thanks. Like,
sure.
Like when we're playing Overwatch or Fortnite or something like that. You just carried me through the whole thing.
If I'm playing a multiplayer competitive game, I can't tell you. I can tell you on one hand the amount of times I'm thankful. At least for myself. I am awful. I rarely get to the end and I'm like, man, thank goodness I contributed. That's never the thing I've ever said.
So like what else? What like in gaming? because you play a lot of different video games. I mean, I've seen you stream a lot of different games. Like, what are times where you're like, oh, that was horrible, but I'm thankful for it?
Oh man, it's I can't not take a moment to throw out my most favoriteest game of all time, Hades.
Ooh, okay. Everybody keeps telling me I need to play it.
It is a game that is the triple threat. It has an excellent story. It has excellent gameplay, gameplay, I guess, what would you call it? Like
mechanics?
But gameplay mechanics and almost like power building, like building.
Oh, okay, yeah,
each journey out from in the underworld, you can kind of use a different build, and it's a lot of variety to the way you build your character. And then finally, it has the most excellent voice acting and beautiful, almost hand-drawn animation in most modern games. So it is a fantastic game. But the reason I bring it up is not just because it's my favorite game, but because it makes you thankful even in the midst of failure. It is it's a roguelike type of game. And what that pretty much means is, is when you go out on your journey, you get as far as you possibly can. Like, you give it the old college try, you fight, you use all the weapons you have at your disposal. And then when you die and you go back to whatever the hub world is or your starting point, usually in a roguelike, you have a chance to kind of invest in yourself, in like permanent upgrades, you can unlock weapons, you can do things that then in the second try, you'll be like one notch closer to being stronger, one notch closer to having the tools you need to get a little bit further. And then you just rinse and repeat that. And I like that mechanic because to me, it has this application in life that we don't always see. So many times we fail and you're like, I wanted to succeed and I failed. That stinks. Maybe I should do something else. No, with a roguelike, the only way you're going to get to the final boss, the only way you're going to see it through is if you go again and go again and go again. It's kind of like a book where you gotta, if you want it to make sense, you could read the last page, sure, but it's not going to make any sense. If you want it to make sense, you got to go through each page. You got to follow the process. And so with Hades, you're thankful even in the midst of death because you're one step closer to being stronger, one step closer to having what it takes. And this game, Hades in particular, I know you said oof earlier. I have a feeling you've had some experiences maybe with some roguelikes.
Yes.
Those kind of games where it's just like beating you over the head.
Yes.
And you just were like hitting your head against the wall. And without giving too much away, this game, Hades, has a lot of built-in story shaping experiences that help kind of alleviate that monotony or that repetitiveness of going through, you're going through pretty much the same areas every time, but there's dialogue, there are varied enemies, there are varied power-ups and those kind of things that make each run different. And so it makes me thankful for failure because each time I get better and better and improve. And now I've done over 400 runs, as they call it, or 400 goes at escaping the underworld. And I still enjoy it. I still am discovering new things. I'm still having new dialogue from characters and from enemies and different things. And so, yeah, it's a great game, but the lessons you can learn from a roguelike in learning from your mistakes and getting better every time is so important.
So in real life application, it's going in and thanking Jesus for those hard times so that you could even see, where he brought you through it.
Yeah, exactly. And I like that in the roguelikes, they give you like the little area where you pour in this resource and it'll give you extra life or extra power or whatever. In real life, we don't always see that. And so we have to figure out in life, what are the ways in which I do that? I invest time in myself, whether that's meditation time, journaling, talking with a counselor, talking with a friend, talking with family. Like, we have opportunities where we can learn from our mistakes, but we do have to like stop and really pray and think and really give God a chance to teach us through it. So yeah, huge applications for life that I try to definitely do and encourage others to do as well.
Wow. Lucas, that's fantastic. where can people find you if they want to get more of Lucas? Where can they find you?
I mean, I warn you, you don't want too much of a good thing, still too much. So, be careful with that. But you can find me on Twitter at MTTG Brazil Team. I am a Married to the Games super fan, along with you and many others, our Uncle podcast. And then also I am a part of a podcast called The Good Morning Guys at the GMG Podcast. And then finally, you can find me on Twitch, where I randomly stream. I'll be honest, I'm not a consistent streamer, but still consistently have fun. We have, good discussions sometimes just hang out and chat. But you can find me there, Mr. Pastor Coach Ham, as you called me at the top. So.
Dude, so at some point we got to get you into some Fortnite. I know my cousin plays, so
yeah.
you got to join us.
You're gonna have to send me some kind of incentive, or you're gonna have to convince me to get into that. I'll be honest, I give everything a college try, and I haven't yet given Fortnite a good try. So I am willing. You name the time and place, I will make sure to download it and get myself ready.
All right, guys, we have that. This is documented.
It's documented and official.
All right, bro. Thanks a lot for hanging out.
Yeah, brother. A pleasure. God bless.
Lucas, thank you so much for joining us. Oh, brother, it's so good to hear your voice. Guys, I want us to take a look at Colossians chapter 3, verses 1 to 17. Specifically, we're going to be taking a look at 15 and 17 for sure, but 1 through 17. Since then, you have been raised with Christ. Set your hearts on things above, where Christ is, seated at the right hand of God. Set your minds on things above, not on earthly things. For you died, your life is now hidden with Christ in God. When Christ, who is your life, appears, then you also will appear with him in glory. Put to death, therefore, whatever belongs to your earthly nature: sexual immorality, impunity, lust, evil desires, and greed, which is idolatry. Because of these things, the wrath of God is coming. You used to walk in these ways in the life you once lived, but now you must also rid yourselves of all the things as these: anger, rage, malice, slander, and filthy language from your lips. Do not lie to each other, since you have taken off your old self with its practices, and have put on the new self, which is renewed in the knowledge and image of its creator. Here there is no Gentile or Jew, circumcised or uncircumcised, barbarian, Scythian, slave or free, but Christ is all and is in all. Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. And over all these virtues, put on love, which binds them together in perfect unity. Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, since as members of one body you were called to peace, and be thankful. Let the message of Christ dwell among you richly as you teach and admonish one another with all the wisdom through psalms, hymns, and songs from the Spirit, singing to God with gratitude in your hearts. And whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do it all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him. Okay, so real quick, let's take a look at verses 15 to 17. It says, let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, since as members of one body you were called to peace, and be thankful. Let the message of Christ dwell among you richly as you teach and admonish one another with all wisdom through psalms, hymns, and songs of the Spirit, singing to God with gratitude in your hearts. And whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do it all in the name of Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him. Now, this chapter, guys, talks about it. Yeah, it talks about giving thanks. But if you look at the beginning of this is where a lot of folks focus on the beginning of that chapter, where it's, hey, don't do this. This is bad, blah, blah, blah. And yes, while that is true, we want to remember this chapter is talking about living as those made alive in Christ. And part of that is being thankful for the gifts that we're given, that love, caring of God. It's a little like in Overwatch, saying thank you. Like there's actually a thing on the dial where you can do a voice clip, and it says thank you, thanking your healers, thanking your support, thanking if you're a healer or a tank, thanking your DPS for covering you when you needed to go get that heal, thanking your shields for protecting you. You could be the best player on the planet, but if you're taking damage and a shield comes up or you get heals, that thank you means so much. Guys, God has given us his son, Jesus, as that shield, as that slurp, if you're playing Fortnite, you guys. We've got streamers, those of us that do streaming on Twitch or YouTube, thanking the followers, thanking those folks that come in. Guys, we need to give thanks to Jesus in all of the things. All right. Now, we can have pretty crappy times, and even in those crappy times, we need to give thanks. Now, give you a little story. My son was born 12 weeks early. For those of you who might not have kids or know anything about, the process or stuff like that, that's early. That's super early, you guys. He was in the hospital for 90 days. 90 days. He had heart surgery during that time, early in that time. In that moment, what could I be thankful for? Now, God does not mean that we ignore the horribleness, but I could be cursing God. But because in that moment, why would I even be thankful? Was I questioning, was this what was supposed to be of my son? Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Guys, and in that moment, I got answers. I fully believe that God doesn't mind if you question, if you ask, because we're going through these things. If you ask, why? I need to know. And in those moments, I realized what I was thankful for. I was thankful for healthcare. There are many people on this planet that don't have that healthcare, and I was blessed enough to have that. I need to be thankful for it. I need to be thankful for the Ronald McDonald House, where at that moment, while we weren't rich people, we had a place to stay with our two young kids while my infant son was in the hospital. I was thankful for insurance. And I was thankful for the job that provided that insurance. We had people that rallied around us. Guys, this is where I learned to play the ukulele. And that's a big part of what I do and who I am right now. I just love the ukulele. And I mean, some may call it optimism. I call it giving thanks. So what in your current situation can you give thanks for? It might be a great situation you're in right now. It might stink. Guys, what can you be thankful for? Guys, thanks for being here. This is awesome. I love it when we get to sit and have these chats. Where else can you find us? You can find us on Twitter, God Games Geekery. You can find us on TikTok, God Games Geekery. You can find us on Instagram, God Games Geekery. And you can find us on Twitch every Thursday, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central Time. Twitch.tv/God Games and Geekery. Spell out that and. If you're listening on a platform where you can rate and review, please do that. Please do that. Let us know how we're doing, what we can do to improve, and what's awesome. And if you're not on a platform where you can do that, well, you can just email badgamer@lifepromotions.org. That's badgamer@lifepromotions.org. Let me know. And just as we roll into this holiday season, where we've got our Jewish brothers and sisters that are celebrating Hanukkah right now. We just finished Thanksgiving, rolling into Christmas all around the world. I do want to remind you that seasonal depression is a real thing. And if that is you, I need you to reach out to someone about it right now. This is your sign to reach out to somebody. Even if that's me. Guys, thank you for being here. It's so awesome every time. Just remember, you are geeky. You are loved.